Hello once again to all our viewers, our friends, everyone who has been supporting iGreyhound through the years. My name is Cecile Henove, and we'd like to welcome you once again to another episode this Thursday. I think you have made Thursdays as your regular habit because after all, we make sure from our team that the episodes that we are airing every Thursday is one that you are looking forward to and where you can gain insights from. So for tonight's episode, friends, this is truly a relevant and timely topic that we have chosen because at Foundation Preparatory Academy, we are ensuring that inclusive education is alive and well. So we have invited our some parents as well as our interventionist from the Foundation Preparatory Academy. So may I proceed to introducing our guests to all our viewers. Immediately to my left is Mr. Jose Elvis Encila. I'm sorry. Yes, and he is the interventionist of Foundation Preparatory Academy. Hi, Sir Elvis, and good evening.
Good evening, Ma'am Cecile.
Thank you for accommodating our invitation, Sir Elvis. And besides Sir Elvis here, she is a parent of a son, and she is a radiologist and also a consultant in one of the tertiary hospitals that we have in the city of Dumaguete. May I introduce to all our viewers, Dr. Maria Dulce Magtoto. Yes, hello, Doctora, and pleasant evening.
Pleasant evening and to everyone.
Yes, thank you very much. And beside Dr. Magtoto here is another parent, a mother, Mrs. Hazel Electona, and she also has a child with a particular disorder that we will be discussing in a little while. Hello, Ma'am Hazel, and pleasant evening.
Good evening, Ma'am Cecile, and good evening, everyone.
Yes, thank you very much. Sir Elvis, before I interview our mothers, the mothers that we have here, they have children with a particular disorder, and we can mention it, no? Both children of Dr. Magtoto and Ma'am Hazel has a what we call as autism spectrum disorder, or in short, ASD, no? But perhaps first and foremost, I'd like to ask Dr. Magtoto before I go to Sir Elvis, Doctor, in layman's terms, no, so that our viewers can understand this particular term, what is autism spectrum disorder, or ASD?
Autism is a neurologic and developmental disability, no, which affects primarily the communication and interaction of the children with other people.
Okay, and this does not know any age, no? It can occur early on in a child's life?
It's present already since birth.
Okay.
Yes, but it manifests around maybe 2 to 3 years old.
Okay.
Yes, the disability.
Okay. In the case of your son, his name is Joaquin, no?
Yes.
Right, Doctora? And he is in grade 8 at our Foundation Preparatory Academy. When did you realize or observe that he has this particular disorder?
During his infancy, no, he has some weird behaviors already, like he doesn't feed well, and he doesn't like look you in the eye. He doesn't respond to simple questions. But it was only when he was 2.5 years old that he was officially diagnosed with ASD.
Okay, so yeah, the key word here is he has been officially diagnosed.
Yes, officially
no?
diagnosed.
Okay. So you went to a pediatrician, a neurologist?
Yes. A developmental pediatrician.
okay.
They are the specialists for such conditions.
Okay.
And usually they do a gamut of tests, no, before they arrive at this diagnosis at around 2.5 to 3 years old.
Okay, yes.
And I also noticed that my son was hyperactive. He's always moving around.
Okay, so those are the manifestations
Yes,
already.
that's what made me suspicious that something's not right.
Yes. Thus, you decided to consult,
Yes,
no? A specialist.
pediatrician.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Doctora. And then, may I ask, Ma'am Hazel Electona, you had a career, no? A flourishing career, Ma'am Hazel, in the insurance business. But maybe we can tell our viewers as well. what made you decide to become a full-time mother now?
Actually, it was a hard decision for me. But because when I saw my child and I know there's no other people who would take care better than me. So that's why I decided to give up my career in Makati and go back to Dumaguete, because I know if you will live here, you are close with the nature, and I know my child really loves the nature, and I know I can better help him.
Okay. So your child is Miggy, no? Or
Yes.
Miguel, and he is in grade 5.
Yes.
He has an older brother?
Yes, he
Ma'am
has
Hazel,
an older brother
Yes, okay.
who is also a ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder.
Okay.
But he was able to overcome with it. Actually, he is in grade 9 in Dumaguete Science High School.
Okay, yes, yes. Oh, but Mickey is in grade 5, yes. But again, just like what I asked Dr. Magtoto, how were you able to observe or spot that Miggy has this particular special need?
Actually, I read a lot and I saw it in social media. You can observe a lot of red flags. He's lining up things. He's lining up toys. He has no eye-to-eye contact. He is hyperactive. He does not know how to talk even one single word when he was still 2 years old. That's why I decided to consult with a developmental pedia to ask for intervention.
Yeah. Okay, so you have 2 children
Yes.
with so-called
Yes, also,
special
yes.
needs, no? Oh, yeah. And this time, may I ask our interventionist at Foundation Preparatory Academy, especially that your children are now with us, no? So thank you very much for trusting Foundation University to take care for and also for the welfare of your children. Sir Elvis, the children of Dr. Magtoto and Ma'am Hazel Electona, these are children with so-called special needs, no? But we have a facility here at Foundation Preparatory Academy. So how do you go about, sir, addressing these specific needs of children?
In Foundation Preparatory Academy, ma'am, we always reinforce by giving training to our teachers. I'm always with them in guiding them on what to do in case these students have their tantrums or moments wherein they melt down. And then we also talk to their classmates so that their classmates will be aware that these kids have special educational needs, so they have to be more patient with their classmates who have these special needs. And then recently we opened our resource room, wherein when every time the learner has meltdown, the teachers can bring them there so that they could express more in that classroom without getting noticed by other students, because through that there would be lesser discrimination since they are alone in the classroom and their classmates cannot see that they're having their meltdowns.
Okay. But the children of Dr. Magtoto and Ma'am Hazel, they are in the regular mainstream classroom, Sir Elvis?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, the term is
Yeah.
regular inclusive classroom.
Regular inclusive classroom.
Yeah, because in the Philippines, we're already doing inclusive education because of the recent RA Republic Act 11650, if I'm not mistaken. That is the Inclusive Education Act of 2021.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
all schools in the coming years must be inclusive, not just mainstream.
Yes, so that's the term, no? A regular inclusive classroom.
Yeah,
Yes.
or just inclusive
Yeah, or
classroom.
classes, or yeah, yes. But the fact that there are teachers, of course, there are students, pupils, and so on interacting, no, with these children, the challenge must really be great, no? But the approach to education, Sir Elvis, because you are our interventionist, how would it be? Would they be segregated in one particular moment? or let them join a particular activity?
Throughout the entire day, they are integrate within the classroom.
Okay.
They are whatever the lesson of the regular students are. They also taking it. It's just that we do accommodations. Like example, they have limited choices. In multiple choice, we usually have 4. So in cases, if it's really difficult for them, we could have at least 3 choices, or we could extend their time in answering an activity, or they could use calculators during mathematics class. Those little things that would really help them cope with the regular setting.
Okay, and has this also been explained to the students or their classmates?
Yes, what's good actually in FPA is that their classmates are really open. We are the ones helping them in doing their activities also, like assisting them. Hey Joaquin, let's do this one. Miggy, let's answer this one. They are the ones helping them.
So it's an open environment, and the children themselves are also comfortable, no?
Yes.
With the presence of these particular classmates of theirs. Yes, thank you, Sir Elvis. Doctora, have there been instances when Joaquin, no, would perhaps run to you and say that maybe he cannot cope, or maybe he has some concerns, or maybe some problems, so to speak, or challenges in his school environment? Like a typical child, no?
This is one of the challenges of a child with autism.
Yeah.
They cannot express themselves, no, most of the time. So, so far, Joaquin
He does not
didn't
verbalize.
verbally,
no?
tell me that, Mom, I have low grade in like this or like that.
Yes, yes.
It has to be me who has to monitor how he is
Yes,
doing.
yes, yes.
Like, I communicate with his teachers personally, like how is Joaquin doing in class? Is he answering his activities? Because if I ask him, he just says, yes, Mom, I did it. But in reality, I don't know if he finished.
Yes, yes.
And most of the time, he cannot finish in school. So what's good in the inclusion classroom is that they are given the flexibility of bringing the activity at home where he can finish it and comply with the activity.
So that's one of the, as mentioned by Sir Elvis, one of the interventions, no?
Accommodation.
Or accommodation to make things easier for them, no? Yes. You also, I understand, Dr. Magtoto, that you also initiated and sponsored, no, a training for the teachers last year on behavioral management. Yes. How was it, Sir Elvis? All the teachers were there?
Yes,
present?
all teachers as well as few staffs were there during the seminar.
Yeah. Well, what made you decide, Doctora, although of course we acknowledge it, no, and thank you very much. Yeah, what made you decide to initiate something of that endeavor?
Sadly, ma'am, in the Philippines, no, even if a Republic Act or ordinance was already passed about this inclusion program, the schools, no, any other school don't get help or support from the government or any other sector. So the teachers are really not that learned, no, to handle them. So I initiated to help them, just like basic, to know even just the basic, because I know that in FPA they have not only Joaquin, they have several children, learners with special needs. So I just said, in order to help them, I would like to sponsor a seminar, a teaching activity, and I hope that I could also sponsor one again, a follow-up. But we are still looking for
maybe some resource
person to do this.
Yeah. And I think that will also make our teachers, no, Sir Elvis, ma'am, like confident, because they will now be equipped to to
Yes.
handle these children with these special needs. Yeah. Salamat, Doktora, for that particular initiative. Ma'am Hazel, imagine you have 2 children with special needs, and I think we have to take our hat off to you, no, for deciding to really devote full time and give up a flourishing career, no, in the insurance industry. But specifically for Miggy, no, instances where it did you think at one time, no, that you give up, or perhaps like maybe in exasperation, because after all, handling one child would in fact be very challenging. How much more if these are 2 children of yours, ma'am?
I think you have to have a lot of patience. That's the first thing that you should do if for a mom who has 2 special needs kids. But I think with the help of God, I was able to do multitasking, do tutoring, bring them to intervention like occupational therapist, speech therapist, and bringing them as a driver, bringing them in the school. So I think every day you just have patience and let God be in the center of your life, because you cannot do it without Him.
Definitely.
And I think that's the best thing that I do every day.
Yes, definitely. So it's really a full-time job, no?
Yes.
Being a mother and being a wife as well. Ma'am Hazel, was it your personal decision to bring like Miggy to a school like Foundation Preparatory Academy?
Yes, it's my personal decision because I have a friend who also have a special need, and we're accommodated and accepted here. So I see that she had a good experience. That's why I bring him to this school, and then I let him first so the school saw his classmates, and he was amazed, he was happy, and so this will be your new home
Okay.
for the next years.
Yeah. Was he here? Is Joaquin here since his grade 1? I'm sorry, Miggy. Yeah.
Actually, it was pandemic, so we're not
Okay.
able to. We started at grade 3.
Grade 3,
Yes.
yes. And Miggy is now in grade 5.
Grade
yes,
5, yes.
Thank you. How about Doctora? Was it also your personal decision to bring Joaquin, no, to an inclusive school?
Yes, it was my personal decision. We started when he was in grade 2. He started grade 2.
Yeah.
Before that, we went to different schools. You know how it is.
Yes.
You keep on searching
Yes.
for a school that would accept him
Okay.
for what he is and allow him to be himself, and at the same time allow him to mingle and experience some semblance of like normalcy.
Normalcy, yes.
And FPA is really a blessing to our lives. The administration at the time, without hesitation, they just said, okay, let us see Joaquin first. And then they briefly assessed him. Okay, you can enroll. And I think that was one of the best moments din.
Yeah.
Because parang, thank God,
Yeah.
Joaquin will have his new home in
yes.
FPA.
Yeah. You mentioned allowing these children to lead normal lives, no, sir? And I think that's where FPA comes in. Not only as a guardian, but perhaps a parent as well, no? Because teachers are also parents. So, Sir Elvis, the facilities that we have at FPA, including equipping, no, our teachers, not only those who are handling such regular or inclusive classes, but even for everybody. How has it been in the past few years or so? Because we've been accepting students like them.
It's really not the same as it was in the previous years because the office that I'm handling was just established around November 2022.
Yes, okay, so around 2 years ago. No?
Yeah, and it was really difficult at first because I do not really know where to start because I have to start from scratch. So what I did was get to know these learners with special needs, how different are they with each other, how similar could they be, and then actually when I look at them, it's just that I find it easy to handle them. It's because I'm a special education major, but
yes.
then for those who are not in the same field as me, they would find it difficult because they are really not equipped as to the basics on how to handle these kids. That's where I started to inform them that you have to observe what happened before a particular behavior manifested, because if we are able to identify the root, then we'll be able to solve also the problem, that specific behavior. However, once you solve a specific behavior, another behavior will arise. That's what their case is. So once a behavior has already been stopped, expect that another behavior will occur.
Of the same child, Sir
Yes.
Elvis. Oh, I see.
That's the manifestations for learners with ASD.
Okay, so specifically for autism spectrum disorder children.
Yes.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, so it's really an eye-opener, no? Oo, that at Foundation Preparatory Academy, as mentioned by our mothers, our parents, it's a blessing to have a school like this, no? So that they wouldn't grope anymore for where to go, and make sure that their children lead normal lives. Dr. Magtoto, you have another child, Sophia, no? Who is younger than Joaquin, but who is in FA also?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Okay. How is the relationship between brother and sister?
They're okay.
Yeah.
I know that I can say that Sophia loves her
Joaquin.
kuya.
Yes.
Yes, but at this point, no, she is 9.
Okay.
She doesn't realize actually
Okay.
that what her responsibility is to her kuya in the future, and we as parents would not like to oblige her.
Yes.
Yes, because it has also some emotional and
Yes.
mental effect on them.
right,
So we would allow her to realize on her own her responsibility to him in the future. But Sophia is very open to children with special needs. In fact, she also has a classmate, si Zachary.
Okay.
And just like other children, no, and other learners, they learn to respect and
Okay.
accept
Yeah.
children with special
Yes,
needs.
that's really great, no? In other words, it's like a give and take, no? Children with special needs, those among their peers also. So it's like understanding one another and accepting. No, I think that's really very important. Yeah, thank you, Doctora. Ma'am Hazel, you also have another child, as mentioned, no?
Yes.
In another school, but it's not the regular or the inclusive school.
Yeah, it's a general.
Ma'am Hazel, yes.
They are offering general education.
Okay,
It's a
yeah.
science side.
But the experience may be similar as well to Miggy.
Yeah, at first we have find it very difficult because it's a regular science high school.
Yes.
Much is expected from you.
Yes.
But then I was able to talk with the guidance counselor about his status, and then they were able to accommodate him. There were struggles in between because they are not as there are no interventionists there.
Okay.
But thank God, just able to reach another level.
Yes, right.
school.
So these are 2 boys, no, that you
Yes,
have?
I have
Ma'am
2
Hazel.
boys.
Yes, 2 boys, no, 2 sons. And how is the relationship between the siblings?
They get along with each other. Usually, I bond them. We do bonding. We go to the beach. We bring our big dogs.
Okay.
And then we go to the beach and have them, you do exercise, you play with the dogs. And I think that's the better, we have an opportunity to bond with each other, even every week only.
Okay, yes, because
Yes.
after all, they are both in school.
We are both
no?
in schools.
Yes, right. Do they know that one has a so-called special need or something?
No, actually, I did not really open up to them.
Okay.
But I just told them that they will just help each other.
Okay.
Nobody will help them except
Yeah.
themselves.
Yes.
They have to help each other, whatever problems
Yes.
along the way.
Yes, but boys probably may be different from girls, no? When they're around or when they play, are they more rowdy, or?
Yes, like that.
Okay.
They are more rowdy.
Yeah.
Very chaotic
Yes.
inside the.
I can imagine.
Yeah, inside
Yeah.
the house.
Yes, yes, yeah. Especially that they may also be enjoying each other's company, no? Being
Yes.
children, I
Yes,
suppose.
being children.
Yeah, right. Sir Elvis, no? Because you are now like integrating, no, the children with also other children. Have there been like challenges that you thought, no, you could have handled better? You know, things perhaps that may occur, and at the back of your mind, you could say, I think I could have handled this better, or maybe I have another way of handling this particular situation. I wonder if there have been instances.
Probably it's more on the emotional side of these learners, especially that they cannot express really well. So I was hoping that I could be like brotherly to them,
Yeah.
and not the fearful one
Yes,
when
yes.
every time they see me, because
Yeah.
every time along the hallway they see me, they go the other way around
really?
every time they see me already.
Really, okay.
Yes, because every time they have meltdowns, the teachers would always call me, so I'll be the one letting them express until they finally calm down.
Okay.
So after they calm down, they see me, so they see me as kind of like the negative person.
Or disciplinarian.
The disciplinarian.
Oh, yeah.
So
Bad
they,
cop.
Yeah, the bad cop.
Okay, yeah. But you look very amiable. Oo. And the mothers also agree. Our parents agree. Yeah. Really? Okay. So they regard you as parang the bad cop nga, as we
Yeah,
say.
as Joaquin's term, bad memory.
Oh.
I am one of his bad
Oh,
memory.
really? Oh my gosh, no? Okay. But I'm sure you love them, no?
Yes, of
Sir
course.
Elvis.
They have a soft spot
Yes,
in my heart.
yes, right, yeah. When you get together, Dr. Magtoto and Ma'am Hazel, in you know, there are events at FPA, of course, and parents, including the children, the teachers, of course, mingle, no? What usually happens, Dr. Magtoto, and what have you observed?
It's okay, ma'am. There's no stigma or
Okay, yes,
anything.
yes,
It's just like the usual.
Yes,
yeah.
parang they don't treat you like more specially than the others,
Yes,
or even your
yes.
children.
Yes,
Okay.
because that's what's good in FPA, like inclusive. So they let the learners with special needs experience as much as possible all of the activities that the regular learners do, like when during a program they would really dance on stage, even if they dance out of tune, they are still allowed, because it's very important in sports activities, in everything. So there's no like we say special treatment.
Yeah,
Oo.
that's good. Yeah. I was about to ask that, no? Are they allowed to do this and do that? But here at FPA, they are allowed to do practically all that the other children are also doing. Yeah, thank you.
As long as they can do it.
Yes, right. It's part of the learning process also
Yes.
of the kids. Yeah. How about Ma'am Hazel?
I feel that the kids do not treat them as they are different, you know.
Yes.
They're just the same kids that they
Okay.
know, they enjoy, they talk each other, they play. So, as a parent, it gives peace in my heart, you know, that I have a son who is at FPA and was not bullied,
Yes, okay.
is treated well. So, that's a great, I think it's a consolation for me.
Yes, great. Yeah. With the few minutes that we have left, I'd like to ask Sir Elvis, what effect would inclusivity do to other students or other learners?
Actually, it has a big effect, especially for learners with special needs, because it would really help them adapt with the class easily. And yeah, the term would, it will make their life easier once they are in the regular setting if inclusive education is adopted by a school.
Yes, very nice. No, yeah, thank you very much, Sir Elvis. And then I'll request our mothers, no, if they have some words to say to our viewers, especially that they are in this particular stage in their life. No, the children, of course, will grow. They may have, maybe they will also go to college and so on. No, yeah. I'd like to ask Ma'am Hazel first. You have the floor.
For the parents out there who is at the same situation at me, you can try FPA, because at FPA, for my kids, it's really a second home for us. And my child is accepted here. There is no bullying, and it gives peace in my heart that he is here in FPA.
Yes. Thank you very much, Ma'am Hazel. Very heartwarming. Dr. Magtoto.
At FPA, my Joaquin, no, have friends. He is taken care of, not just by the teachers and administration, but by his friends and classmates. I just would like to wish and pray that there would be more budget.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, for the training of the teachers, especially that the turnover is really fast. No, we should find a way of teaching them somehow a long-term seminar or something like that. And I also would like to thank again FPA, because in FPA, Joaquin had the chance to feel a normal life, and because of this, he has a dream. He never stops dreaming to be something in the future. So that is very, very important for us parents.
Yes.
that he wishes to be something, like he wants to be in criminology daw.
Okay, yeah.
So having a dream changes everything, ma'am.
Okay.
So
that's really nice.
again, thank you to FPA
Yeah.
for accommodating my child, our children.
Yes, that's really very nice. No? And as parents, I think it gives us a secure feeling, no? That our children are in good hands. No? Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. Once again, Sir Elvis, Dr. Magtoto, Ma'am Hazel,
Thank
and
you,
we hope to have you in our future episodes. iGreyhound will be right back, friends.
Welcome to Foundation University, the home of the Greyhounds. Programs offered: Become who you want to be with our state-of-the-art facilities. Conducive for learning. An eco-friendly environment. With friendly, reliable, and committed. Staff and faculty. Are you ready for an experience? Join us. Make a difference. Be a foundational.
Yes, welcome back once again to iGreyhound. This is our second episode or second segment of this particular episode. But this time, we shall be talking once again with Mr. Jose Elvis Encila, and I'd like to welcome him back to this particular segment. But this time, he is joined by another parent, a mother specifically, who also has a child with special needs enrolled at Foundation Preparatory Academy. May I introduce her to all our viewers and all those who are watching us on live stream. May I introduce Ma'am Gleen. We call her Ma'am Gleen May Luzares. Hi, Ma'am Gleen, and pleasant evening.
Yes, good evening, Ma'am Cecile.
And welcome to
Thank
iGreyhound. Yes, and Ma'am Gleen, if I may proceed further, is one of our executive officers at Foundation University. And Ma'am Gleen, I'd like to ask you, you have an only child.
Yes,
her name
ma'am.
is Rian Margaret, and we fondly call her as Marga. In fact, I have met her, and she is now in grade 10 here
Yes.
at FPA. But tell our viewers, Ma'am Gleen, because I think this would interest all of us, especially those who are watching us and who may have children as well with special needs. How did you cope with this particular situation in the family? Because usually if something like this occurs, there is a disruption, in your activities, perhaps in your household. And she is your only child, Ma'am Gleen.
Well, actually, if there are no tantrums, everything is actually fine because kids like her would fall into a routine, Ma'am Cecile.
Okay.
And once their routines are established, then they just, go by that day in and day out.
Okay.
So it's not that difficult to manage, except at times when they really have meltdowns. So this is when there would be some disruptions, be it in the house or when we go out.
Yes,
There are times when she also has meltdowns when we go out with the family. Like we go to the mall and then there is something that would trigger that, or we attend an event, like there are fireworks, for example. She's very sensitive to that. So before, we did not have a headset for her, and she would really be crying when there is fireworks, although she wants to look at the display, but you know, the sound is just too much for her. But eventually, she also adjusted, and she would be the one who would request to go to an event with fireworks, but she would be bringing a headset. So if in case it gets too loud, she just has to switch on the noise cancelling function and continues to look at the display, because she also likes to play with light. And so any display with different colors of light is fascinating for her.
Is that the only one that bothers her, Ma'am Glenn? Fireworks or maybe loud noise?
That's the most. But other things is when there are situations in which the routine will be changed.
Yes, yes.
They are very sensitive to that.
Yeah.
So for example, Ma'am Cecile, say we have classes every day, right? So she already knows that the schedule for Monday to Friday. If there are suspensions like today, no?
So that means she is staying home now.
Yeah. If there are suspension of classes, then it's like it's a weekday, but she's not in the classroom. So like she's trying to figure out what to do with her day.
So that's what we mean, Ma'am Glenn, by a routine. At
Yes.
least this is for Marga.
Yes.
Okay. May I ask? Yeah, thank you very much. I'll get back to you, Ma'am Glenn. Sir Elvis, you are a SPED, no? Special Education Interventionist, and my goodness, I think I have to take my hat off to you, no, for such a gargantuan task, no. You're not only dealing with the children, but I suppose also with the teachers and the parents as well. Yeah. Now, is this the situation that Ma'am Glenn described for her daughter Marga? Is this typical for a child with special needs? In this particular instance, with autism, no, spectrum disorder.
Yes, Doc. Actually, those in the ASD or the autism spectrum disorder, they are really routinary in nature. So once their routine is disrupted, the tendency of having tantrums or meltdown is really high. That's why we always condition them that if there is a prior activity, we always tell them ahead of time to condition their mind.
Okay, and they're open about it. Ma'am Glenn, is Marga open about it?
Yes, ma'am. In fact, she actually likes to travel. However, I'm very cautious when we go somewhere new, and I really have to try to go there first myself to, you know, gauge like travel time, waiting time, things like this, and then I have to orient her about it. Okay, like let's say she wants to go to Cebu, so I'll tell her there's no plane during this trip. We'll be taking the bus. So the situation is like this. We might have to wait for 2 hours, then we sit in the bus for, I would normally like extend the time just to manage her expectations, because if we tell her 2 hours, then she really will have that, she will expect 2 hours. So if it's beyond 2 hours, she would start to get agitated.
Okay. What does Marga like to do in particular?
She's very interested in digital arts. She actually does very good drawings and paintings on paper, but also using her iPad.
Okay.
She also like uses a MacBook at times. Aside from that, she mixes music.
Very artistic, no?
Yeah,
Yes,
that's her inclination,
yes,
really.
Okay. Yeah. Sir Elvis, is this also typical, no, of children with special needs? Not only with autism, perhaps, no, but those with other so-called special needs. Do they excel in certain aspects, like, for example, the arts, no, or maybe in writing and others?
What we do, Doc, is we always find the interest of that learner so that we could enhance more on that, because we really believe that every learner has their own inclination. We just have to look through it and explore on what they are interested really in.
Yeah, you know, at Foundation Preparatory Academy, it's really such a welcome development, no? That we have an inclusive education program, right? And here is Sir Elvis doing this task, no, of being the so-called interventionist. But Ma'am Glenn, I think our viewers would also be interested, no? At the onset, when Marga was already ready for school, what went on in your mind? Did you have like considerations like have her undergo a homeschooling program, or maybe go through like a special needs school, or perhaps really put her in what we call as a mainstream regular school like Foundation Preparatory Academy?
The first priority was really a special needs school. Although I was also hoping that there would be a school where she can be mainstream, because my first job actually was in an inclusive school, and that was the first time I was able to handle kids with special needs, and most of them also had ASD. So that's why actually I was able to also observe, no, my daughter, and realize that she might have ASD. So we consulted with her pediatrician until it was confirmed. So the first really thought is to enroll her in a school that can accommodate her needs. And we were able to do that first from a private school and then a government school. It was in the government school that they already recommended her for mainstreaming. And so, that's when we got to Foundation Preparatory Academy.
So in other words, Ma'am Glenn, no, the first two schools, no, one is a private school, the other is a government school, was a special needs school.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So in other words, there were no other classmates or children or learners who were with them in that particular section.
All of them were kids with special needs.
Okay, so that's quite interesting, no? And then imagine it has been 10 years, right? That Marga has been here. So she started at grade 1 when she was in grade 1, and then now she is in grade 10. Can you imagine that? Wow. Sir Elvis, I think this is where we can acknowledge, no, and credit Foundation Preparatory Academy for really instilling and focusing, no, on inclusive education, especially for children with special needs. No, Sir Elvis, you have been with us for 2 years.
Yes.
No? But the task may perhaps be not routinary, if I may say so, no, because children with special needs really have special needs. No, is ASD the only special need, so-called, that we have at FPA?
We have a few. Aside from ASD, we have a learner who's on wheelchair. And then there's also those with the mental one. So when it comes to the mental, I always ask help from the guidance office, because they have more psychology subjects than us, mga special education majors. So I always ask help, because my interventions might not be suitable or might not be of really help for those with psychological.
Although that's also a special need, but this time it's specialized, no? So there's physical, as what you had mentioned, mental, no, as what you had also indicated. But how do you deal with all of these learners with special needs, Sir Elvis, especially with the environment that we have at Foundation Preparatory Academy? What do we offer specifically for these learners?
What we offer is, first, we always identify these kids if they are really diagnosed or not. It would be really helpful for us and also the teachers if the parents are open, if their learners are really diagnosed, because we could really provide the proper help if we know what the diagnosis is. So we could provide the individualized education plan, wherein we give a special or like a modified instructions for their kids. And we could also provide a BIP, the behavior intervention plan, in case there are times that the learner manifests behavior. And then with that, I could also offer help with the teachers on how to handle or give them few words on how they could help the learners avoid with their meltdowns, because what really do is, if we know that this is a trigger for their meltdowns or their tantrums, as much as possible we avoid it, especially if those things can be avoided. But there are circumstances that we really can't avoid them having meltdowns. So with that, we just give them time for them to like, it's their way of expressing they are really mad, angry. So we just give them time on their own, and then get back to them like after 5 minutes, then hoping that they are okay, they have expressed what they really wanted to express.
Okay. In Marga's case, no, Ma'am Glean and Sir Elvis, this is one section in grade 10, no? And the learners do not transfer. Oh no, I think they transfer from classroom to classroom, or they just stay there.
They just stay except for their HE or ICT class.
Okay, where they go to another area of the
Yes.
school. Otherwise, they wait for their teachers. Okay. Is Marga, I think this is also for the benefit of our viewers, is Marga the only one with so-called special needs in her section?
In her section,
This is grade
there are
10.
2 of them in their
okay.
section.
So there are no, well, of course, you had mentioned, no, that you just let them be when there are meltdowns. I'm curious about how their classmates address such meltdowns.
Since they've been classmates for a long time already, they know what to do.
Okay.
They will not like react every time Marga has a tantrums or meltdown. They just allow or let the teachers manage Marga.
Thus, it's the teacher's role to orient. Do our teachers orient the classmates or the learners in her section?
We always tell the teachers to orient the kids. However, I'm happy with our kids here at FPA because they're really welcoming to learners with special needs.
Yes, and I'm curious, I've met Marga, I've seen her around on campus, Ma'am Glean, and I think she's like well-adjusted individual, no? She goes around. Is she sociable?
Yes, especially with younger kids.
Ay, okay.
I came to know later on that she would go to the kindergarten classroom, ma'am.
Okay,
or
yes,
when they have activity, she will stay close to the kids, like she's playing ate to them.
Okay,
Because she really likes kids.
Yes, okay. But otherwise, no? Otherwise, her routine, if I may address it as such, no? Her routine is just like any normal child or any other normal learner. Okay. Except that yun lang, no? Maybe there are meltdowns or something like that. But again, I'm curious, Ma'am Glean, no? And I think I am voicing out also what our viewers would like to know, no? At the onset, no, when you got to know that Marga has a special need, no, what went on in your mind at the onset, even before she would go to school?
Actually, I observed some manifestations like rocking herself.
Early on yan, Ma'am Glean.
That's between 18 to 24 months.
Okay, so about 2 years old.
Before she turned 2.
Rocking herself.
And then there were other things, like she has super focus on a few things. And so I was, like thinking, I think this is not usual for a child. And then of course there were those extraordinary meltdowns. Not that frequent, but you can also see that. So I was thinking probably these are already manifestations of a certain disorder, but I wasn't sure what it is because of course even if I had exposure, there are a lot of similarities, Sir Elvis, right, in the manifestations, ma'am. So I also asked the pedia during consultations. The pedia has observed something. Actually, the pediatrician was hesitant at first. She was like, Mommy, there's something I have observed.
Okay.
I'm not sure how you would react to this, something like
Okay,
that.
So she was cautious,
Yes,
no? And,
yes.
yeah.
And then she told me her observations. Then I just smiled and said, yeah, I also observed that, Doc.
Okay.
So what do we do
Yes,
from
yes,
here?
yes.
And so we plan to have the assessment by a developmental pediatrician or a neuropedia. And then, but Marga was sickly. She also has asthma like me and my husband.
Okay,
And she was frequently hospitalized.
Okay.
So that posed a challenge as to the official assessment. However, the pediatrician and us were working together just to also have to be able to manage Marga before we even saw a specialist, because we were already convinced that indeed she has special needs. We just can't put a name on it yet.
Yes. Oh, and then finally you
Yes.
consulted now a specialist. Your husband and yourself, Ma'am Glenn, no, Sir, Mr. Luzares, share the same sentiment. You support one another in the way you also support Marga.
Yes, ma'am. Because
I think that's very important. No?
yes, and one thing really that was emphasized to us, not just by the doctors, but also by parent groups that have children with autism. In fact, we met an old couple. Their son is actually already, an adult and working in the National Library.
But who has a special need also?
Yes, he also has autism.
Oh, okay.
And so, the parents actually told us na you really have to help her establish a routine, and that, no is no, yes is yes.
Okay.
So if there's something that you want to say no to, all of you in the household should say no.
Yeah, okay.
Because if there's just one of you, like there are 10 of you, for example, and then just one would say yes, then that means it's not really a complete black or white. The child will actually, take advantage of that.
Okay, and something like focus on it, no?
Yes.
Or pin down on that
Yes.
particular request maybe, no? Interesting. Sir Elvis, especially so that these are the last few minutes for this particular segment. In the few minutes that we have, no, at Foundation Preparatory Academy, the environment that we have, I think it's quite conducive. No? It's conducive, in fact, no, to learners both with special needs and those who are in the regular mainstream classroom. No? But very quickly, Sir Elvis, individuals like you, no, and especially that there are parents out there who may also be struggling or grappling, no, with such a situation in their family. What advice, perhaps, can you give to them, especially if they are still starting? Well, Ma'am Glenn and her husband, they are supportive of one another and supportive of Marga. But how about those who may still find it quite difficult to accept this particular situation? What advice would you give them?
I know it's difficult to have kids with special needs, but it's also very important that we accept it to ourselves so that we could provide the proper help. So that one, acceptance is the first. Then the second one is really early intervention, because early intervention is very important, especially for those learners with special needs, so that we could provide the necessary help in order for them to become the so-called normal in our society. So those two things lang, Doc. So acceptance and then early intervention.
And then incorporating them or immersing them into the so-called normal turn of events, no, in society. Yes. Thank you very much, Sir Elvis. And Ma'am Glenn, again, this is such an opportune time for us to talk to you, no? And thank you also for being open, no? A show like this or an episode like this, sometimes some people may be cautious or hesitant to come out, but here you are, no? And after all, Marga is already in grade 10. What maybe words of wisdom, perhaps, if I may call it as such, can you give or share to fellow parents, no? Or to your fellow parents who may also be confronted with such a situation, Ma'am Glenn?
I think I would support what Sir Elvis was saying earlier, that as parents, we should be the first ones to accept the situation, because only when we accept it are we able to help our child adapt. Because of course, even if they have these special needs, but eventually with our support and the support of everyone around them, they will be able to actually self-regulate, which is very important. And also we need to teach them life skills, so they have to be able to take care of themselves, because it's not every time that we are there around them. So we have to expose them to the society, and good. As parents, we really have to accept our kids first, so that we will be able to give them whatever support they need.
Yes, beautiful, no? So acceptance, and I think also the support coming from the family first, the school, because you have to expose them, no, to academic life as well, and the community in general. And I think Foundation Preparatory Academy has set the scenario, or has set the tone in inclusivity, no? Accepting all those, not only those who may have special needs, but all those who also would like to become part of society. Daghang salamat. This has really been such a very engaging, heartwarming, if I may call it as such as well, conversation with the both of you. Ma'am Glenn May Luzares. Ma'am Glenn, thank you very much for opening up. And Sir Elvis, please continue with the work that you are doing. It's such a huge task, but I think you are doing very well. Daghang kaayong salamat.
Thank you, Doc.
So with that, friends, we bring to a close another very interesting episode of iGreyhound. Please do not forget, we are also being streamed live on the Facebook page of Foundation University, and we are also telecast on Channel 6 of Filproducts TV-Dumaguete. I'd like to leave you with this quote, friends, because this is such an inspiring episode. The only way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. This has been Cecile Henove bidding everyone a pleasant evening.
Since its inception in 1949, Foundation University has carved a place in academia, the home of the Greyhound. This school is a vanguard of technology, innovations, strategy, collaboration, and new directions towards excellence and quality. It has grappled with various challenges, most recently the worldwide pandemic. Its faculty and staff, students, and alumni remain true to the core values of excellence, commitment, integrity, and service. Foundation University will soon celebrate its Diamond Jubilee anniversary. It stands ready for what the future holds. We have built a community of influence started by founder Dr. Vicente G. Cinco. It is committed to a mission of making education accessible to all. On our 75th, Foundation University thrives to consistently realize its mission and vision, strives to be relevant in the exigencies of the times, comes alive despite circumstances, and in the process makes a headway for a high five to the rest of the world.
High five!